So the air got just a little crispy, a little chillier. Guys, fall is here. You know how I know? I got emergency in my bottle right now. Okay, I got the sniffles. I have a little bit of a twinge in my neck. Okay, it's here, and fall is here, and there's no better way to celebrate it than with some insane matchups in Week 5. A lot of crazy home underdogs here, and you already know how you already know what I'm doing. Okay, so you can tell yourself that you're gonna be surprised by my picks, but you're not. We have a lot. We have so much to go into, Brandon. Not to mention, we're also going to we'll make the announcement at the end. But we have some big plans for this weekend, and we're hoping that you guys will be along for the ride with us. So I want to start off with the first matchup. Now, this is on Friday night. And this one, I dove into this a lot because I was so sussed out by the spread. UVA is hosting Florida State, and right now they're 6.5-point underdogs. Before they were 7.5 point. Actually, I think they opened 8.5, 9.5, which is not even that crazy, considering Florida State is beating their lower opponents at like 40, 50 plus points a game, right? Also manhandled Alabama. So let's dive into the numbers. What is Florida State doing well? Gus Malzahn, his play calling has been exquisite. They currently rank third in the country in points per game, second in yards per game, and they are the number one country in rushing. Obviously, they also have the most rushes per game in the country. Their rush defense is excellent. Their pass defense is, I would say above average. The team looks very well-rounded. Tommy Castellanos playing very, very well. UVA, on the other hand, very surprising, actually looking at some of these stats. They have excellent offense. Excellent offensive stats. They're top 25 in the country in almost every category offensively. On top of that, their defense is not terrible. Their defense is not terrible at all. They have an above average pass defense, and they're ranked 33rd in the country right now in rush defense overall. So I looked into the numbers a little bit. Tommy Castellanos in his career, this is something I found out. When Tommy Castellanos' team, over the past 3 years, when his team averages less than 4 yards per carry, he is 1-9. When his team has less than 4 yards per carry, they're 1-9.
Okay.
Here's what gets me worried about those losses. You're going into UVA, who is a very underrated offensive team, so you know that they'll have the tools to be able to keep up. And they're actually rocking a pretty decent rush defense. Their front seven is doing a good job. I think UVA stays in this. I got UVA plus 6.5. Done deal.
Yeah, and UVA's offense has really been firing like all year. They have two wide receivers. Both have been great. Both of them are like super seniors, so they got a bit of grown men kind of on the field a bit.
Experience
Virginia,
is key.
Experience is key. Virginia's offense has been firing, like I was saying. They have a quarterback who's, I believe he was at Oklahoma, North Texas, TCU, and now he's at UVA. So he has a lot of experience as well. It's a home game.
I love that. By the way, I love that we have journeyman quarterbacks in FBS now. But yeah, go ahead.
It's a beautiful thing. It's awesome.
But that's experience. That's 4 different schemes.
Experience.
That's 4 different programs he's working with, and he knows how to mesh into a program well. Obviously, the numbers show.
Yep. And what was I going to say? And it's a conference opener, right? So it's a conference opener. It's a road game. They have Miami next week. This game is screaming trap game like everywhere. You know what I mean? Castellanos was banged up. Last game he got banged up, but they did say he's fine. I know they put up like 70 points against Kent State, but that is Kent State. So for me, as long as UVA can continue to put up points, then I think they can hang. But FSU's defense this year just looks so the tenacity was just nuts. I mean, we all saw it against Alabama. Now, granted, Alabama, that game, they won fair and square, 100%. They deserve that win. But Alabama, they have come out much stronger since that game. So, maybe they caught them in a moment of weakness, but at this game, I mean, what's the total points at? 160?
59.5. I like it.
I would lean more towards that than anything.
Take the over. 100%. With these offenses, you should be taking the over anyway. You should be.
Yeah.
They'll find a way to score.
This is going to be a close game.
This is going to be a hell of a game. We're watching this together.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Friday night, we got plans too. So.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, are you rocking? Who are you rocking for the game? You got UVA or Florida State covering?
hate to do this to you, man, but I gotta go FSU.
I know it's 6.5. I feel you. Let me ask you a question. If it goes to 7.5, are you still rocking Florida State all the way?
No.
You have a threshold.
6.5.
Good to know. Done deal. 7.5?
I would say no, 7.5. I would still consider, but anything more than like 9.5 now.
My guess is this is going to drop to 5.5 tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this thing moves.
Yeah, at least by game time. Okay, we're going to head over to. This game is a little bit interesting too. This is a Friday night game also. TCU going to Arizona State. Both of these teams are in very unique positions. I'm going to go through them real quick with you. I got too many notes. You know how it is. Okay. I looked in on third down. TCU, what they're excelling in is time of possession and third down conversions. Those two things they work in tandem. They're 11th in the country in third down conversions. But you know what's crazier? TCU's defense right now is 6th in the country on third down defense. Zach Chapman looks killer. That edge. I watched some of his highlights. Dude looks killer. TCU defense, you never expect to see it, right? But all of a sudden, you get pass rushing. All of a sudden, TCU defense is going to be a problem. They're going to be under pressure. And I'm not saying that Sam Leavitt is a bad quarterback at all. He still has Jordan Tyson. But Jordan Tyson right now has almost 50% of the receiving yards that Sam Leavitt is dishing out. That's not a good sign. That's a pinpoint. That as a defensive coordinator, I know what I'm looking at. I know exactly what I need to do. So ASU, on the other hand, is kind of relying on, they're 104th in the country on third down conversions. You're telling me that matchup doesn't blow up in your head? I'm really scared for Arizona State here. Jordan Dwyer, that Idaho transfer, he had another monster game last week. I don't know how ASU stops this. The only thing Arizona State has excelled in the past few games is their time of possession. They're top 10 in the country. That's all they. And if they want any hope and a prayer, they need to rely on their somewhat decent rush offense. I think it's top 20 in the country. They're still rushing really well. They're rushing a lot, but they're rushing well. They're getting good yards per carry. So if they can maintain that time of possession, I think they can sneak away with this. I'm still leaning TCU, and I'm going to ride with them, TCU plus 2.5. I think this is a much more well-rounded team. I don't think ASU has the weapons to keep up with them. Tell me what you got.
I'm going with you, too. I'm going with the TCU spread. TCU's offense just looks great. Josh Hoover looks really good, too. Their offense can compete with ASU's offense, right?
Yeah.
And to be honest, like Sam Leavitt, he does look good, but I feel like he's kind of had a bit of a rough start, and ASU has as a whole. They had some hiccups early on in the season. And I think Leavitt's one of those guys that he's more accurate from outside of the pocket than he is inside. So I am curious to see, how often they do blitz him, how much they bring the pressure on him, because I do think that's when he's at his best. Now, is that more so like him throwing it up to Jordan Tyson or his ability? But, I like to think it is a mixture of both, but I just feel like, and then after watching that Baylor-Arizona State game, like, it was one of those things where they were sloppy pretty much until the fourth quarter. And, you and me have both watched Baylor this season, a lot of Baylor this season. The only reason they're in games is because they can put up points. And, putting up points against Baylor's defense isn't that, like,
it's not hard.
Yeah,
but Sawyer Robertson keeps them in it.
Sawyer Robertson keeps him in. You know how much I love Sawyer Robertson.
I know.
But, I'm going with TCU spread.
I like that you agree with me on this. I would have been concerned if you're riding Arizona State. I think that line is a little bit of a trap. I think Vegas definitely leaning on TCU here. Also a really interesting game. Okay. USC at Illinois. This is such an interesting game. USC. Let's talk about what everyone has been talking about nonstop, actually, for the past couple of weeks, and that's that Jaden Mayava and USC's offense, led by Lincoln Riley, is firing on all cylinders, and that includes on the ground game too. Mayava, from a completion percentage, top 5, top 6 in the country, I think. They're also first in the country in points per game and yards per game. We already know all this. Their offense is going bananas. They have the best offensive play caller in the country at the helm of the team. I would hope to God they got some crazy numbers. But again, what is worth reiterating is USC has had, over the past few weeks, the ability to dominate on the run game. They're not just, getting better yards than they did last year. They're winning off of the run game. They are 4th in the country in yards per rush. That is insane. That tells
That's
me
insane.
that they're winning the line of scrimmage, and also they have talent in their backfield. So you have a talented quarterback, you have a talented running back, you have a great offensive line, you have the best offensive play caller in the country. Over 7 yards per rush, by the way.
Insane.
Yeah, Illinois. What a sad story, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that was bad.
I feel like Illinois may have gotten too much hype preseason. Last week's game was the reality check that I was hoping Duke would give Illinois. But obviously that didn't happen. Illinois has because they have so much returning experience, I was relying just on that experience. But as we all know, there's multiple injuries to starters. Their secondary is completely shot at this point. Offensive line looking shaky as well. And you're just going to lose the line of scrimmage as a result, you know?
Yeah.
Luke Altmaier is on pace for almost 50 sacks on the season. I know the one game against Indiana is a little bit of a skew, but that's the result of the injuries. The injuries, that is a direct relation to your injuries. Their pass and their rush defense are both, I think they're like 80th to 90th in the country. Not good. Really just not good. Their rush defense is awful. You know, you're going against a team that's averaging over 7 yards per rush, and they're allowing almost 5 yards per rush to opponents.
Yep.
I'm worried about Illinois. I am only taking the 6.5 because this is a Big Ten game. They have the home field. I'm going to ride the 6.5, but I'm probably not going to watch the game and just maybe check on it after. No, of course I'm going to watch it. There's so many crazy games at noon. I don't know what I'm actually going to be tuning in on.
Dude.
It's tough.
Insane.
You really have to make executive decisions. And for us too, we're going to be at
It's going to
tailgate.
be.
Yeah, so it'll be twice as hard. Tell me, what do you see in this game?
I mean, you summarized it really well. Like the injuries that Illinois had too, like their secondary is completely banged up. I believe this past game they lost 6 of their 7 DBs to either injury or ejection. Xavier Scott, Jim Thorpe finalist. You know, he's out for this game.
What a killer. I mean, he's out for the season-ending injury.
Yeah. They said they said he's going to miss majority of the season. So that's a huge blow. I know USC on their end, they're Jacoby Lane, their star wide receiver. He's banged up, but he's more so day to day.
Okay.
And even if he is like out of the game, Mekhi Lemon, I mean, he's going ballistic. He's like their speedster guy. He's so fun to watch. I just think Lincoln Riley is so dialed in. I think the difference between this team this year and the Caleb Williams years, obviously Caleb Williams is a better QB and a better talent than Jaden Maiava, but Jaden Maiava is better at, I think, just being like, you know, in charge of the offense and running Lincoln Riley's game plan. And, you know, we saw it clearly. Lincoln Riley likes to run the ball, and he wasn't doing much of that with Caleb Williams because they were just letting him create. Versus now, you know.
They couldn't. I mean, they couldn't produce anything on the ground.
It felt like more so it was Caleb's team and Lincoln Riley's along for the ride, and now it's vice versa, which is really fun to watch. And that's why I think USC's offense as a whole is just a bigger threat than it was during that era. Because they could beat you in the air, they could beat you on the ground. I mean, it's insane. So I got to go with the USC spread.
I know.
Like,
It's going to be so tough. It's going to be so difficult. Maybe you can convince me by game time. Who knows?
But I will say, I mean, in that Michigan State game, they were getting sloppy near the end. You know, it kind of became a game there for a second. So who knows? Who knows
how it goes? That's what I'm saying. Big Ten play, you never know how it goes.
I like the over too, by the way.
The over is interesting. 60.5 is a lot for a Big Ten game. Was really interested in that line too. Okay, another noon game that's I would also consider a little bit of a trap game for Notre Dame, visiting Arkansas. Yeah. Notre Dame. What do we need to do about Notre Dame? I'm going to tell you what you need to do. You need to forget last year. You need to separate last year's team from this team because it's a completely different team. And I'm not saying one team is better or worse. I just think that with the identity of CJ Carr, with the secondary being as thin as it is, depth-wise, this is a completely different team. Notre Dame is no longer going to be able to win games on defense. They currently rank 105th in points per game defense, 76th in total defense, 119th in pass defense. This is not the same Notre Dame team. I hate to break it to you, okay? Hey, the rush defense is top 30. Congratulations. How did they dominate Purdue? They dominated Purdue on the ground. They have two of the best running backs in the country. I think Jadarian Price had a little bit of a better day than Jeremiah Love, but they have two of the best. You could make the argument that it's the two best as far as tandem go in the country. What I'm worried mostly about is because they have relied so heavily now on their offense to keep up in these games, and that includes themselves at home. Can they keep up here? They're in the top 33 in the country. Notre Dame is in a really precarious situation. Because they're in the top 33 offensively, they've also managed to be 19th in the country in third down conversions. Arkansas, on the other hand, doesn't give a shit about defense. They are not playing any sort of games with a defensive mindset. They are there to put up points, and we saw what happened last week with Memphis. If they don't score on every drive, they had a turnover late in the fourth. All of a sudden, they lose because they know you cannot win through defense on Arkansas. Let's be honest with each other. They've accepted that identity. They're second in yards acquired per play. Arkansas is also 17th in the country in points per game and 5th in the country in yards per game, in total yards. Add the fact that Notre Dame's kicker is also questionable. This game is actually going to come down to red zone possessions and third down conversions and time of possession. That's what it's going to come down to. The over-under is at 64.5. I love the over, and I'm also rocking Arkansas plus 3.5. I think Taylon Green is too much and too explosive at home for this defense. And if it comes to a track meet, I'm taking Arkansas here. CJ Carr, first year. Taylon Green has experience. He looked good last week. I know he had the turnover late in the fourth, but he looked good. I mean, he looked good against Mississippi. They just got outscored on. What do you see in this game?
I agree with you 100%.
Let's go. Let's go.
Arkansas
Yes.
clearly can score the ball. They've proven it in two huge games. I mean, Ole Miss is not an easy opponent, and then they played Memphis right afterwards. I know they lost both games, but they were both super close. Notre Dame's offense is good, but I just think Arkansas's is more consistent. I think both teams have played, tough defenses for sure. I'll say that. But Notre Dame's secondary and their defense is just banged up. Their quarterback isn't as proven, as tested as Taylon. They have Jeremiah Love, which is awesome. Jeremiah Love is a top 10 talent in the draft. All that going into the season, there was all the hype in the world about him, and he's been great. But Arkansas, I just feel like come on, they're due. They're just due. It would be unfortunate if Notre Dame lost. It would be bananas if they lost. But yeah, I'm going to the Arkansas spread.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Easy.
All right. Happy we saw eye to eye on that. Ohio State at Washington. The 3:30 slot also even crazier. A lot to get through. I know. Ohio State at Washington. This is a tough game. I want you to start on this one.
Ohio State at Washington. I believe this is like Ohio State's not test. Obviously they played Texas week 1, but I want to say this is their toughest opponent since then, right? They're going up against a Washington offense that looks really good. Their running back is, I believe, leading the country. Jonah Coleman, 8 yards a carry. He's been killing it. He looks really good. This one's going to be interesting. I feel like the matchup to watch here is the quarterback play almost. Julian Sayin, he looks good. He's looked composed so far, but this is going to be an interesting one. I think Damon Williams is going to be able to hang. I think the Washington offense is going to be able to hang. I think the Washington defense is where there's, some questions. They did lose a lot. Steve Belichick left and he took half the defense with him. But we'll see. I think this is going to be close. I do think this is going to be closer than, people realize kind of. I like the under in this game actually. And I probably would lean towards Ohio State to win for sure. But I do like the under in this, and I do think that Washington covers.
Yeah, I like the pick. I mean, I'm kind of having deja vu with Ohio State a little bit. Their defense is, I would say, just as good, if not better, than last year.
Yeah.
Their defense looks really good. Their defense is the reason why they beat Texas. I mean, let's be honest with each other. They don't really need to ask a lot of Julian Sayin. You're right in the sense that this is going to be the first time I think they're going to have to ask him to do stuff. They have a tandem running back group that's it's weird. It's different than the tandem they had last year. Last year with Judkins and Travion, You had a really good pass catcher who's also good in backfield blocking, and you also had a downhill runner. Now they kind of have this guy, Bo Jackson.
Freshman.
Yeah, averaging almost 12 yards per carry, which is absurd.
He's insane. He found his stride, yeah.
Yeah, and then they also have the transfer, C.J. Donaldson, who's kind of like, he's not a shifty back. He's not a power back either, but he's a utility back, I would say. They use him in very specific situations. They also have not allowed a red zone score yet. So this defense it's playing lights out. 8th in points per game defense, 12th in passing defense, and then also 13th in the country in total defense. I mean, it's really, I'm having deja vu here.
Yeah.
They're about to meet the powerhouse of Washington offense, though. They are silently going off. What is... I don't want to talk about it.
I knew you had something for me.
I knew
you had something for me. Go ahead.
Here's the issue. Here's the issue. They don't also realize that Washington's defense is playing adequate this year as compared to last year. Last year, I think Washington ended up having a very good passing defense. Like, secondary was really good. Not to say they don't have a bad, obviously, secondary now. They still have to carry out Davis. I don't know if he's still injured. I don't know if he's going to play. I think he's day-to-day as well. But if he does play, they still have an elite secondary. I don't know. I like Washington a lot. I think I'm riding with you on the spread.
Question: How has Washington's secondary looked this season? Do we know?
No.
Any notes on that?
No. I mean, their secondary is not good. Their secondary is it's like I think 90th or something in the country. They're allowing a lot of passing yards, but their rush defense is really good. Actually, sorry, I have the number here. 72nd in the country. Sorry.
Okay.
Their pass defense, their pass defense is, again, that was the identity last year. Last year they had a top 10 pass defense. This year their rush defense is top 5. So I worry about the ability of Ohio State to move the ball with consistency, knowing that they're going to have to throw. That's what I'm banking on. I like Washington plus 8.5 here.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Deal. I love it.
Done.
I love it. The breakdown was just exquisite.
By both people.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to the next page of the notes. We got a lot of games for you guys.
You should have seen the video he sent me. It was endless. A video of just the notebook with the pages. Yeah. Beautiful.
God, do we have to talk about this right now? Okay, Penn State at Oregon.
Woo!
I'm kidding. Hold on. We got to redo that. Skip this part. I forgot Auburn at A&M is at 3:30 also. No.
Look how eager he got. Look how excited he got. And then he was like, oh, wait. All right.
No, let's do A&M and Ole Miss. LSU.
Come on.
Okay. We're going to head over to College Station.
Okay.
For another team that is facing a really big test here too. I know what you're thinking. Auburn. Hey, they got exposed last week. I don't think so. I think Auburn looked really great. Their rush defense, their front seven looked legit last week against Heisman contender John Mateer. Side note, super unfortunate about the injury.
Yeah.
I'm praying that he can come back this season.
Hopefully, man. He's been killing it.
He's the most exciting player to watch by far. Not even close.
He's so good. So good. So, yeah, hopefully he gets back soon, man.
Yeah, I had money against him last week, and I still was rooting for him on that last drive. No, Auburn right now, their defense is holding well. Their offense is actually pretty good, 36 in points per game, 32nd in the country in rushing offense. They have their identity through Jackson Arnold. It feels like they're playing safer with the ball. They're 40th in the country in time of possession. And on third down, they're doing really great, 39th in the country. I'm worried the biggest matchup that I saw for A&M in this game is the fact that they have been very inconsistent in third down offense specifically. They rank 99th in the country. They're about to play the top 20th country in third down defense. A&M, on the other hand, let's forget about that for 1 second. 13th in points per game, 17th in total offense. They're also amongst the worst in the country, fun fact, in total penalties per game. They have over 8 on average per game, which is absurd. That's not sound fundamental football. You're not going to win like that. I remember the game against Notre Dame. They were literally shooting themselves in the foot. They still managed to pull a win off. I don't know. I'm worried. I'm also worried on defense. They're allowing 100% conversion rate on scoring on every possession. A&M, their defense, I'm worried outside of that pass defense they have, which is, I know it's really elite. I'm worried that they don't have the tools to be able to stop Jackson Arnold the way that this line is suggesting. Texas A&M for 6.5 is a lot of points. I think Auburn will hang on just like they did in Norman. For the record, they're going to hang on. They had that safety at the end. I know that was killer, but they hung on that game. And Jackson Arnold played. I don't even think he played that great, and they still hung in that game because of the defense. A&M has not played. I know. Hear me out. A&M has not played a defense of this caliber yet this season. And I think they're going to be in for a treat. I think Auburn covers plus 6.5. I think Auburn outright wins this game.
I like that subtle shot to Notre Dame, too, for a second there.
Okay, well, I did already completely obliterate them earlier in the call. Yeah, well.
That's true. Might as well follow the theme. But, yeah, I like Auburn as well. I think Texas A&M has a great roster, but they are sloppy. I think that Marcel Reed is great. I think he's very good. But like you were saying, I mean, I just think they make too many mistakes. They shot themselves in the foot a lot against Notre Dame. I think Auburn is kind of like lucky in the sense that they're coming off of a really tough game against Oklahoma, a tough loss. I think that whole team is fired up. I think they like that's going to give them a lot of juice going into this game. Going to be more alert, more focused. I think the intensity is going to be there. And yeah, they were in the game until the end. Like it could have gone either way, that Oklahoma Auburn game, and I think Oklahoma's a better team than Texas A&M.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to go with Auburn here. I'm going with Auburn. I got to keep it simple.
Let's not forget the egregious miscall, calling that hold on the 4th down that Texas A&M ended up winning off that touchdown.
And then I believe, was it that game too where the player came to the sideline and acted like he was faking a substitution?
That was Oklahoma, and they scored off of that.
And that shouldn't have counted. That's illegal.
Auburn got shafted a little bit.
Yeah, dude,
a little
that
bit.
Was
I know.
So
it's okay. And they scored. I mean, it's a really low scoring game too. Egregious calls, obviously. It happens in college football, dude. And I mean,
did you see what Jackson Arnold said?
What did he say?
To that fan?
What did he say?
You see what he said to that fan?
No.
Fan was talking shit as he was like going into the tunnel after the game. You know, he's in Oklahoma.
Of course.
And then he points at the fan. He was like, "You wish you were me."
True.
Bang! Come on, he's fired up. Look, I'm rocking with Jackson Arnold.
I like Jackson Arnold. He's a tough kid.
Fuck him.
Hey, remember when he beat Alabama?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Ooh. This is an awesome game. I think low-key this game is going to be game of the week. LSU going to Ole Miss. Now, okay, this is like, yeah. I know you're excited. Actually, you know what? You're an SEC guy. Let's hear what you have to say. Let's hear what you have to say.
LSU Ole Miss, man. I know, like, there's been a lot of talk, this week. I know everybody's seen the Whit Weeks thing, and that's a lot of fun.
Talk to us about it.
Yeah, so Whit Weeks is dating Lane Kiffin's daughter, and it looks like Lane Kiffin's daughter posted the picture on Instagram. The kids these days, they call it a hard launch. She hard launched the relationship.
No way.
The week that they're playing each other.
That's calculated.
Of course, social media, come on.
That's calculated.
Social media starts going crazy, and then these college football accounts on Twitter, they start posting it. Lane Kiffin responds to these tweets multiple times. You know what he said?
What did he say?
Take the over. He's the best, man.
Oh my God. No, hey, listen. I get more and more respect for him every week. I'm going to be honest with you. I get more and more respect. Yeah. He doesn't give a shit about what anyone thinks or says. He'll say whatever's on his mind, and I have so much respect for that. I really, every week I gain more respect. After that story, I don't know. Okay, hold on.
But yeah, other than that, let's
talk to me. Yeah. Talk to me about the game. No, I respect
Trinidad Chambliss is getting. Trinidad Chambliss is getting the start.
Okay.
Which
he
is
looks
huge.
good.
I think. That's
he just looks good.
He looks so good. The offense loves him. I think the offense is, runs better with him at quarterback.
Yes.
I think Lane Kiffin enjoys the fact that he's more of a speedster than Austin Simmons. Ole Miss's defense, I know there's some question marks there. And that's going to be, I think, what determines this game. I think Ole Miss's offense is going to be able to move the ball up the field nonstop. I think they're going to be able to put some points on the board. I know LSU's defense is good, but I do think Ole Miss is going to have their number that day as far as scoring. But that's what it's going to come down to is Ole Miss's defense. I I think Caden Durham is banged up, so that's going to be something to keep an eye on. They're starting running back, although they're so deep at that position, it's insane. I mean, I'm gonna go with Ole Miss here, like for sure. I know they're favorited, I believe, right?
Yeah, now they are
On the line.
Yeah,
You know
big time.
It
yeah.
is okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's minus 1.5. Ole Miss.
Yeah, -1.5. So yeah, I gotta go with Ole Miss here. I'm rocking with Ole Miss.
You know, it's so
sure.
funny. It's so funny you mention how they're so deep at the running back position.
Yeah.
And Durham's a great runner. Don't get me wrong, but.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. They couldn't even get 4 yards per carry against an FCS opponent. They actually are averaging less than 4 yards per carry on the entire season. And can we just take a step back here? I'm going to get so much hate for this. I understand. Do it. When I said this about Brian Kelly and I put it up on those shorts, they came after me, okay?
They did.
They came after me. The LSU kids, they came after me, and that's fine. I want that. I want you guys to express your opinion. I love hearing that. Guys, LSU is not the powerhouse team you think they are. I would go as far as to say that they are fraudulent. I think LSU does not deserve the respect that they have gotten. I do not think they're the third-ranked team in the country, and I'm going to tell you why exactly. Beyond the fact that they haven't gotten the ground game going, guess what? Last year they couldn't either. And who did they have to rely on? Nuss, to be able to win games. And Nuss is injured, apparently. He's nursing an injury. He's not even playing at his full capacity.
Yeah.
What have they done well, besides the fact that, they have the 98th ranked rushing offense? Their defense is top 15 in pretty much every single category except their pass
defense
D.
is insane.
The defense is absurd. It's absurd. Almost every single category, except for the pass defense. Pass defense, a little bit shaky. They're getting over 1 turnover a game. Also, they have the 18th ranked third down defense. So it's not top 15, but still top 20 on third down defense specifically. I'm going to use that as a segue over to Ole Miss because they're about to play the top 15th ranked third down offense in the country. So that's going to be a real spicy matchup. Here's what's interesting. You also said if Ole Miss's defense shows up, they show up. They have the 23rd ranked pass defense.
Yep.
And let me tell you something. Their defense struggles against the run. But LSU is not winning in the trenches like that for the run game to get going. So if you're telling me they're going to rely on Nuss, and not to say he can't do it, but he's obviously not playing at the caliber he was playing last year. I think Ole Miss can pull this off, and I'm going to take them. Time of possession looks really bad for Ole Miss. I don't know if you know this. They're in like the bottom 15 in time of possession in the country. And it's not to say it's a bad thing. They score quick. It's not to say it's a bad thing. They score so quick. On those possessions, they're getting points because they're top 20 in every other category offensively. I love Ole Miss here. I'm going to ride them. I'm taking the under also, under 54.5. I think this is more of a defensive game because Ole Miss's mindset, whenever they beat LSU, is to make sure they're winning in the trenches. That's how they beat them last year.
And LSU didn't even, their offense, as much as it was hyped up going into the season, they didn't do that much against Clemson, who was a fraud.
Yeah,
they didn't do that much against Florida. Florida's defense was legit. I'll say that because they stopped Miami, they held it down, but I really haven't seen anything that
for the
matches
record.
The hype.
Miami's second half, they completely dominated that Florida defense. Yeah. So to give any discredit to that Florida defense, but Miami looked way better against Florida than LSU did, right?
Yeah.
I think you're right.
We're rocking with Lane, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. We're not even arguing.
What are we talking about?
We're trying to tell you guys, just be objective about it. Just be objective. That's all. You just got to be objective. All right. We're heading over to Alabama, Georgia, which I was really surprised this didn't get College Game Day. I was genuinely surprised. Yeah. I was rooting for Penn State because obviously we're going, but
that's why they knew we were pulling up. Two fans, one pod.
Yeah,
come on, Game Day knew they.
I'm excited for it. We're gonna represent. Don't you worry, guys. We're gonna represent.
Come on.
Alabama. What do they have going for them? Jam Miller is back this week.
Yeah,
desperately needed that. Ty Simpson has, not to say Ty Simpson, he's been throwing great, very accurate.
Looks good.
Their offense is completely back on track after that first week. After that first drive of that first week, honestly. They looked great on that drive, and then they're just nothing. 12th in points per game, 22nd in total offense, 7th in their passing offense, mostly due to Ty Simpson. Kind of puts them low in the rush game. They're 87th. But again, they have Jam Miller coming back. So their defense is also, like, they've solidified significantly. And I understand the Wisconsin victory doesn't necessarily look as good, considering how handily Wisconsin was just destroyed by Maryland. But I don't know. Their defense looked good. I mean, they're top 10 in so many of the categories now, and that's after that Florida State week. They also have the 3rd best turnover margin in the country. So they're back to fundamental and sound football. Georgia, track meet against Tennessee, they still won. I mean, it's really true when it comes to the SEC. You know, to be the best, you have to beat the best. And right now, the best is Georgia. And it is what it is. Georgia holds that. The defense has not been as elite, though. I will say that. I was looking at the stats. They're like top 40% in some of the categories, total offense, points per game. But their pass defense is like, I don't know, at 96 in the country. That doesn't look good. Their offense, on the other hand, has been like stellar, and they've needed to be stellar. Gunnar Stockton, surprisingly, actually throwing really well. They're top 25 in almost every category offensively, which is, I understand it's Georgia and they're a good team, but you wouldn't expect those kind of numbers from a run-first offense. They're also 4th in the country in time of possession. So both of these teams are so elite in so many categories. I just think this game is a toss-up. I think this game is a field goal game. So I'm going to ride Alabama plus 3.5. So I'm going to go ahead and ride Alabama plus 3.5. Again, I don't want to touch anything else for this game. I think this game is really a toss-up, but just because it's 3.5, I'm going to take the dog. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the same page as you, man. This game really is a toss-up. It's in it's in Georgia's home field.
Kirby has, Kirby's record.
Every year it goes either way.
Yeah, Kirby has an awful record against Alabama specifically.
Yeah,
he's only beat them. Yeah. Like he's like 1-6 in his career against them, which is absurd.
They lost last year, right?
Yeah,
that was the Ryan Williams game.
Yeah.
That was sick.
And you know what? I think Kirby Smart is the best coach in college football. There's no doubt about it. But you can't argue that some coaches are just bad against some teams. Look at Ryan Day against Michigan. I mean, has yet to beat them. So, he'll still win national championships. Still a great coach, but sometimes they play poorly against bad teams. And so I think Georgia. I think Kirby Smart just doesn't necessarily. Maybe he doesn't call as good as he usually will. So yeah, maybe that's another reason to take him. I don't know.
Yeah, I like Bama though.
Yeah, Bama's a good pick. Bama's a great pick here.
Ryan Williams, Bama's been going. They've been getting into form. Ryan Williams looks great. They're using him how he should be used.
Ty Simpson.
Jam Miller's back. Ty Simpson looks good.
Give him a couple of wins against big teams. He could get in the Heisman conversation too with the way he's playing.
That Florida State loss could be the best thing to happen to Bama this season.
Yeah, exactly. It really and it looks good, and it's a good loss because it's a top 5 team.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into the speed round, we got the last one. We got a big one.
Is it time?
We got a juicer minutes here. Okay, first, before we get into Oregon going to Penn State, just so everyone is aware, real quick, Brandon and I, along with a few of our friends, we're going to go up to State College.
Let's go.
We'll get to experience a tailgate. I got a tailgate set up for them. I got great tickets on the 40-yard line. So really excited about the game. I am a diehard Penn State fan. I went there, love the school, love the program. I have done an awful job with picks for Penn State in my career. So I'm just going to preemptively tell you that I am abstaining from picks on this game. Okay? Wow. And rightfully so. I am of the opinion that I am unable to separate my emotional capacity for Penn State and objectively rating them as a football program week to week. So, I am abstaining from the pick. That being said, a few things I want to point out. Okay. Oregon. They have yet to allow a passing touchdown this season. You're about to play against one of the most overrated quarterbacks in college football, Drew Aller. Just want to start off with that. Dante Moore has been playing exceptional. quarterback matchup, it's not even comparable.
No, it's
Dante
not. He
Moore
looks
is
insane.
playing out of his mind, will continue to play out of his mind. I don't know what's going on at Oregon. Is it the offensive court? Is it the QB coach? They have something going on. They know how to put a quarterback into the right system immediately. Dante Moore looks excellent. I will say that Penn State secondary, led by Zion Tracy, has been amazing. Top 8 in the country. Outside of Drew Aller, defense-wise also, Deni Dennis Sutton and Zane Durant, between the two of them, they have 6 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 1 interception, and a forced fumble. They've been going lights out, just the two of them. So that D-line is stacked. And Deni Dennis Sutton will be a first-round draft pick. I mean, you can't even make the argument against that. What's nice about that is that they actually have a much better pass rush than their rush defense this year. It's significantly better. On top of that, Penn State actually has receivers. They have multiple receivers with, I think, 14 plus catches and at least 140 yards. So these guys are getting good receptions. They look, Kyron Hudson looks good. And so does Trevor Pena. They've also been using Trevor Pena on a lot of sweeps. So in the run game too. So you see they're getting creative. Penn State has not looked good on offense. And it's against subpar competition. Why is this happening? My only explanation is that Andy Kotelnicki understands that the first 3 or 4 weeks of gameplay for him is a joke. He knows that those wins are pretty much guaranteed. I think that's his mentality. And so he's been treating these games as, I want to try out new, different fun plays that I wouldn't normally try out in big game moments. I'm hoping that Andy Kotelnicki, his creativity and his ability to create space with players will show up when it matters most. Again, I'm abstaining. I would, as an objective third party, I would be looking at the Oregon line plus 3.5, just because I know how Penn State plays in big games. But again, that's purely from a coaching viewpoint, and I would not take my pick ever when it comes to Penn State games. Okay, go ahead, hit me with it, Brandon.
Oh man, Dante Moore looks really good. Oregon looks like the best team in college football right now. I can't even deny it. Penn State, they had a lot of guys come back. Drew Aller is Drew Aller. Say what you will about him, but he has experience. He's familiar in the system. He is athletic. He can make plays, although, there are times where he leaves you kind of scratching your head. But that Oregon team, man, they just look so damn good. Dante Moore looks like he could win the Heisman. The wide receivers are great. I think DeCorian Moore, I believe he actually might have gotten banged up, but their wide receivers are still deep. The offense just looks great. This is the best Oregon's looked in a very long time. Penn State, I know they have a lot going for them too. They improved the offense. They got Pena. The passing attack is better than it was. I do like your, point about you think that they were trying shit early on against those shittier opponents, and I do kind of agree with that. I really do.
It was a track meet last year. It was a track meet when they played.
I'm going with the Penn State spread, man. Fuck Oregon. I think Tony Rojas and the Penn State defense is going to smack Oregon in the mouth. I think this is the toughest defense that Oregon has played. I think they're banged up. Mekhi Hughes, the starting running back, is still banged up, I believe. DeCorian Moore, like I mentioned, is banged up as well. Penn State's got it all, man. They got the 2 best running backs in the nation. You got Trevor Pena.
I mean, you know what I mean? You could make the argument. You can make the argument. I like Notre Dame's running back tandem too. They might be the best, but it's a good competition.
We're rocking with State.
Let's go.
Come on.
Let's go.
We are, man.
We are.
Come on.
Okay, let's do a speed round. I got five matchups I want to go through. We're going to go through them quick, okay? Indiana and Iowa. Hit me with it. What do you see?
Indiana and Iowa. Indiana looked insane.
Absurdly
what the hell
insane.
was that?
I know.
You know I'm not a big fan of
we both took Illinois.
I guess I gotta stop hating. Indiana's legit.
I know.
Indiana's here.
They put us in a place.
I'm going with Indiana. I don't even know what the line is. Nothing. Indiana. I'm going Indiana.
Historically, Indiana has been really, really good against weaker opponents. It looks like over the past 2 seasons. So the only time that they've actually struggled is against much better opponents. I do think Iowa has proven themselves to be a much better opponent than what's average in the Big Ten, which is why I like Iowa plus 7.5. Iowa's still rocking top 10 in rush defense. They're 7th in red zone scoring defense, and also they're 54th on third down defense. Indiana, obviously, obviously killing it with rushing and the third down offense, but low key 71st in red zone scoring. So if some of those touchdowns turn into field goals, all of a sudden it's a close game. So I'm banking on that. Also, they lost Lee Beebe week 3, that running back. Indiana did.
Talk to me.
They got, you know what's crazy? Indiana lost their best running back. Their three next in line, each of them have over 10 carries, and each of them have over 100 rushing yards in that last game. In the last game they had against Illinois. So, I mean, that is absurd. They had 312 rushing yards also against them. Iowa plus 7.5. That being said. Done. Call it. Easy peasy. Sorry, so many games to go through.
It's insane.
It's so many. Arizona, Iowa State. Hit me with it.
I like Iowa State here. I'm going with the quarterback play. I'm going with what I've seen so far. I like Iowa State.
Minus 6.5. That's a full touchdown.
Minus 6.5.
Huh?
Minus 6.5. I'm rocking with. Arizona's just been sloppy. I haven't seen much from them this season. I like Iowa State. I like them a lot.
Arizona offensively, Noah Fafita, he's one of those guys. He's like Avery Johnson. So much hype about him and just underproducing. Yeah. The nice thing is that Arizona has actually, I don't know what they did defensively, but they are killing it defensively. They're 11th in the country in points per game allowed, 5th in total yards allowed, which is absurd. Iowa State, their defense is pretty elite too. I mean, they've got top 22 in points per game allowed, 38th in their pass defense. They've won off of Rocco Becta as well. That being said, I'm avoiding the spread altogether. I'm taking the under 49.5 here.
Yeah, that's a good one. I
okay,
like that.
Rutgers at Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Revenge game. Revenge game. Ethan Kaliak-Manis. Ethan Kaliak-Manis. Listen. Minnesota, let me tell you some crazy offensive stats for Minnesota. 97th in points per game. 73rd in rushing. You're going to tell me the team that's identity is rushing is 73rd in the country in rushing and they're going to win this? 4.5 points is way too much. Right now, Rutgers, the biggest thing about them is they're giving up almost 5 yards per carry on rushing. So their rush defense has been bad. That's how Iowa was able to dominate them. They would get so many third and longs off of rushing. They're also 120th in yards per completion on defense. So Rutgers, obviously, defensively not looking great. What they got going for them? 15th in the country in time of possession. Minnesota, on the other hand, their offense looks a little shaky. Obviously, they're great on defense. They always are. Also, low-key, they're tied for worst red zone defense in the country. They've allowed points on every single red zone possession. So I just think if Rutgers can maintain possession of the ball and make sure to convert red zone possessions into touchdowns, they'll end up winning this. I'm taking Rutgers plus 4.5 and under 51.5.
I'm going over. Close it. Done. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Done deal. Louisville at Pitt. Pitt's 4.5-point dogs. Miller Moss coming to town.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I love Louisville. I love that whole team. You said it's in Pittsburgh?
It's in Pittsburgh. It's at Heinz Field. It's Acrisure Stadium.
What's the total at for that one?
57.5. I got the under. That was my pick. Low key, Louisville.
Yeah, like
Louisville, 7th ranked pass defense, 100th in time of possession. So I just think it's gonna be a lot of punts. Also, Pittsburgh, 122nd in time of possession. Both of these teams have awful ability to stay on the field. Pitt also 5th in sacks. I just think it doesn't look good for Louisville. If anything, I'm just going to take the under 57.5. It's too many points for two teams that are unable to convert on third downs.
I like that. I'm riding with you.
Nice.
That's a toss-up. I mean, either team, I love Louisville, but yeah.
It's tough. Just because I think people are expecting more of a track meet because Miller Moss is so good. Pitt always puts up points, but Pitt looked really bad against West Virginia, and West Virginia is not. Yikes. Okay, Cincinnati at Kansas. So last game.
Cincinnati at Kansas.
Yeah.
Cincinnati at Kansas. I like Jaylon Daniels and the Jayhawks.
Yeah,
here.
it's too easy. It's too easy. 4.5 is not enough.
I think I gotta go with them. Yeah.
Yeah, I got Cincinnati. Fun fact about them, they've converted on 100% of their red zone possessions. They have a very decent rush defense, very decent, but they're awful against the pass. They're also 118th on third down conversions, 107th in third down defense, 134th in time of possession. There's only 137 teams in FBS. They're 134th.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's not great. Kansas, on the other hand, they've been giving up also points on every single red zone. possession on defense. They're 103rd on passing offense, but that doesn't matter because they're running the ball more than anything. They're also 120th in third down conversions, but their third down defense is a little bit better, and they're better at time of possession. I just think Kansas is going to control the ball more, and 4.5 it's too much for a Cincinnati team that looks a little bit overrated. I love Sorsby, by the way. I think he's a great player. He looks good, but the team around him is not enough. Cincinnati is not enough to be able to take down Kansas at home.
Nope.
Holy crap. Oh my God!
What? It's gonna be an amazing slate.
It's gonna be an amazing slate. And what's crazy is we're not even gonna be able to experience a lot of it because we're gonna be at the tailgate enjoying the atmosphere at Penn State. But we're gonna record everything for you guys. We're gonna make a whole vlog. We're gonna put it up on the channel so you guys can enjoy it.
Very special, very exclusive.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's gonna be
legendary.
Awesome. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna make a whole video. It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be.
Yeah. So we hope you guys tune in for that, and enjoy your Week 5 matchups, guys. It's gonna be a spicy one. All right.
Let's go.
Peace out.